Hey, how's it going? So, I had an interview today, and I don't know. It was a lot different than the last interview I had with Amazon because the last interview I had uh it was more so like I guess I don't know how I can really describe it. It was more of like you go in, you sign a paper, and then he just tells you, "Hey, you know, you may hear back in 2 days, you may not, yada yada yada." So you there's really no process. So at this one, we went in there, and the lady told us everything that we needed to know. She went through the whole paper with us, kind of explained everything, told us what to look for. There were a lot of people who left. A lot of people had a lot of questions. Afterwards, we had an interview afterwards with one of the people with the onboarding. We went up. We did that. Then you fill out your little application. Then you give it back to them. They also they sent you a text message before you even left the building. So that was a good thing. So then you already know that they have your information. You have a number that you can contact them, an email that you can contact them, and things of that nature. So it leaves the line of communication open between the two parties. So that's a good thing. And also, I think we were there about probably about I went at what was it? I went at 2. I didn't get out of there till probably 4 or 5 o'clock maybe. So we were there for a couple hours really, and it was nice. Everybody got a chance to fill out their information and everything. And once we got done, we I left and went home. The only thing that I am concerned about is they said something about your driving record or whatever. I have like 1 point on my license. It's like really like who has any points on their license? But it is what it is. Um, I have a plan B just in case that doesn't work out. Then I'm going to go and apply at this other job that I really was kind of holding out on applying and everything. But I was really hoping to get that one to drive a truck and just be the best. I don't want to sound corny, but be the best Amazon driver that I can be at this point. Because you're driving a truck, you're delivering packages. It's you're independent, and it depends on you. When you're out there doing the job. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's an easy job because it's not. But what I am going to say is that it's up to you. You're out there delivering packages. You're doing your thing. And it's just my only concern. If I were to get in, my only concern is make sure you train me right, and you show me how I'm going to get 300 packages done, and in a shift, because I don't mind it, but I'm not going to be jumping out the truck running, to deliver packages. So, we'll see how that goes because they're supposed to, she claims they're supposed to train you and everything like that. And I think a lot of the stuff that she said, I think it was geared towards the younger people because, she's seen so many people come through there and had so many questions or whatever. So therefore, um, she said she kind of wanted to, kind of weed out some people in the certain cases, and it did for some people, me myself, when she said something about the license, she said, "Well, even if you got one ticket, that's you can't work here." And I'm looking at her like, "Lady, if one point was the killer for drivers, there would be no truck drivers." I see truck drivers all the time getting tickets. It's like I understand they have to be careful with their license, but one ticket, like really, So I didn't really put too much emphasis on that. I didn't even say nothing, because it was like whatever, if y'all run a background check and I'm good, fine. If you don't run a background check, or if you run a background check and I'm not good, that's fine too. Either way, there are other options. I still have time. Paid my taxes today. With I fought with the IRS website, and that was a bear, and I almost thought I wasn't going to be able to pay my taxes, but then I looked again, and there's another site, IRS site, where you can actually just pay your taxes and just get it done with. That's where I wanted to go. I didn't really want to go to the site where you have to go in and put your information in and email and video and give them your license and all this other stuff. I didn't really want to do all of that, and I had to do it like 3 times. So it was like it was like really getting on my nerves. But I did get that done, so that's done. So now it's just oh, and I never heard back from the other Amazon DSP. But like I said, that interview was totally different than this one. Totally different. So hopefully that's a good sign. But we'll see. Besides that, I didn't really do anything else. I was in here, of course, touching my settings again, because I'm always trying to do a little something. The only thing that I did different this time, why my episode might sound a little different. I'm not sure. I haven't listened to it because I'm still recording it. It might sound a little different because what I did is I took the de-esser and I turned it down to around the 1,000 area, because around the 1,000 area, the de-esser starts to shape your voice. So in the 5 to 9,000 area, it does what it's supposed to do, the de-essing. But in the 1,000 area, it shapes your voice. So if you're doing a podcast, just remember that you can take that de-esser, cut it down to about 1,000, and that's the tone shaping era. So it'll kind of shape your voice, and I think that's what it's doing. I'm not sure. I won't be sure until I listen to this again, try it on my TV and everything. But that's what it's supposed to do in that particular area. So just a tidbit. If you're listening to this podcast and it may be just that little bit that you need to get your podcast sound a little bit further than it is. So I'm always here to help. But that's it. I hope everybody had a good day. I did. It's pretty decent. I was almost late because I have one clock that refuses to stay on the right time. And I was washing clothes this morning, took a shower, yada yada yada. And I get out the shower and I'm paying attention to the clock that's always wrong, not realizing it. Something told me to go peek at the other one that's right. I said, "Oh crap!" It was like it was almost 12 o'clock, And then I had this like, "Oh man, now I got to be in a rush to get out there to the interview, so I'm there on time, and that type of thing." So, but I got there. I was the second one in there, technically, and there were like I think probably there were like probably a good 20, 25 people in the first group, another uh probably another, I don't know, another 20 in the next group. So there's quite a few people out there. So it was definitely a huge turnout. So I mean that they definitely had it was definitely a good deal. So we'll see if I can get in, then that'll be. I'm hoping that will give me experience in driving the commercial truck that I can actually take to UPS or whatever, because they put you in a they claim they put you in a small van first. Then if you get your packages done, whatever, then you graduate to the bigger full size trucks like UPS. And once you do that, then I mean you're basically driving the same truck as UPS. The only thing that I don't like about it is you got to load the truck yourself. So that's the part. It's like, okay, how am I going to load 200 packages? And I think the one guy said you got 20 minutes to do it, and it's like, okay, you're definitely gonna need some training. If I get in there, definitely gonna need some training to kind of figure that out, because it's that'll be interesting. And I think I heard one guy say he did. I think he said he did like about 25 packages an hour, which is pretty decent. It just depends on how tight the route is. If the route is tight and well organized, then fine. But if it's not, then now they're looking at you like, okay, why are you so slow? Okay, well, you got to show me how this stuff gets organized, so I'm not hunting for packages. If they're right there, and I can just reach back, grab one, you know, go and do what I got to do, and I'm good. But if I got to keep digging through packages or whatever, then that's not going to be a good it's not going to be a good experience. So we'll see. But like I said, I hope everybody had a good day, and see you in the next episode.